Truth is cutthroat. Let's get on this guy. I'm not gonna go on this paperwork. I'm not about to do no paperwork or nothing. Everybody else already putting in their work, so y'all can go on their pages. Y'all can decipher or not if he's a snitch. I'm not here to decipher not if he a snitch. I just want to reveal, this man's wordplay and the pick and choosing of the people that he put out there, and the accurate way it's being presented, if it is accurate or not, and whether he's deceiving or not. To my conclusion, this dude is very elusive. He plays game with the audience. And he pulls the attention because he came with some credible information a time or two here or there. But just because somebody keep it real yesterday, don't mean they're going to keep it real today. And I like for y'all just to listen to this guy. But before we listen to this guy, we can speak on this guy being in cahoots with Wack 100. Wack 100, if he's not in cahoots with this guy, we do know about Wack 100 having problems with him. There's many times Wack 100 consistently stated that this guy's a snitch. There's many times Wack 100 stated that this guy is not even credible. At the same time, there's many times where Wack 100 has played bias. And we're going to get on Wack 100 opinion of this guy, and we're going to see Wack 100 bias ways at the same time. But this more definitely is about this guy right here. And we're going to dig in on you, homie. Since you want to dig in on BG and provide the audience with false information. But let's get on Wack 100 and what he got to say.
Why are you going in on 1090 Jake? Why do you have an issue with every person that I do content with, even though I haven't
what
really
I'm saying
done
about
much with Jake in a minute?
Because he's running this
fair use
snitch paperwork, right?
Right.
So I'm like, cool, we're gonna run that, but let's talk about your snitch paperwork. Could we go over yours, the one when you were telling?
So what do you think he told on? Are you talking about the broken window thing that he told the cops that it was somebody else?
He gave statements. They got it. They're going to run a room on them tomorrow. I got a little research team over there on Clubhouse. They put it all together. They run a room. But he gave statements. So I'm like, look, I think if he told, he should just say, listen, I'm king rat, and one rat knows a rat. And people will respect that. He like, I'm exposing rats. So then he takes away the attack.
Who do you think he told on?
What you mean? The gentleman in the paperwork.
He said that there was a statement in his paperwork that his co-defendant gave, right?
No.
Not him.
No, him. His name.
They're
going to pull it up.
I'll have to listen to the room.
But, and then I found out, I didn't know he was like a white boy blood guy.
And you love to go against your own kind, right? Not that you're white,
not my
but
kind. I mean, what do you mean?
You both waving the same flag, right?
No.
I came in wearing my red today. You like that?
Anything outside of the West Coast?
Yeah, you don't fuck with it?
I don't, because they, it's different.
The funny thing is he ain't even check him on the fact that blood and Paru ain't even the same. even though they associate, that don't mean they the exact same. They don't always get along. There's been a lot of problems that goes on between the two, and definitely between sets and other sets splitting apart. These young cats coming in, things ain't the same as people would think, and definitely it never was the same when it comes to Blood and Paru. So I don't know why he ain't, setting straight right there.
And I remember when he came out here.
I respect that's what you're doing, but I don't.
When he came out here, I was asking him, "Are you going to tap in with any local B team member?" I
didn't pay him no attention, bro.
The QCP conversation is a big one right now. Everybody's kind of looking forward to seeing what the reaction is going to be from the community. What's your stance on it?
That's my brother.
Right.
You're not going to get no reaction from the community.
That's bias.
You don't think?
Nah, man. People don't mingle with the peasants.
Right, but I mean,
you can't hear him. He can't hear no.
Gunna was a big deal. 6ix9ine's a big deal, right?
Gunna.
We skipped over 6ix9ine.
Somebody snuck that phone in there. See, Gunna could have got away with some shit. If we wouldn't have never got that video, Gunna would have still been out here moving around.
Which video?
In the courtroom.
Oh, but isn't all this shit public record regardless?
No, we wouldn't have known that until the trial happened. We wouldn't have known. It'd have been a year or two down the line.
So this guy real selective. Fair use. This guy's real selective on who he's going to speak on, who he's not going to speak on.
What they're saying is that QCP had an incident in a weed house where somebody tried to rob him, shot him, killed his homie, right? And then they're saying that he went to the cops and told them what happened.
If a man like QCP or me give a statement on somebody, the DA is not going to drop that case. They're going to prosecute.
Well, maybe they had additional evidence, right?
They had other neighbors and shit.
Right.
But again, the murder was dismissed.
But you're saying that P talking to the cops wasn't the clincher, but it might have certainly. I mean, the whole question isn't really like what the effect of them telling was. It's just whether you told or not. Seems to be the thing in the streets, right?
These days it's like, I mean, I had a situation.
Are you moving the goalposts?
No, I had a situation, a real situation in my neighborhood. My homeboy Chico.
There you go, moving the goalposts.
4 people involved in the shooting, went back and forth. We didn't leave him there.
Y'all.
Process of trying to stop the bleeding. Police pull up, right? And they asking questions. So in my mind, they might catch up with these cats around the corner. Where we come from, we don't want you in jail. We need you on the street.
Right.
Right?
But so having them in jail is good too, right?
No.
You can get it handled in there, right?
No. It's better on the street.
So
when they asked us who did it,
more options.
We told them it was 4 Hispanics. 4 Hispanics did it. We don't know their name. We gave them a different description of the car, everything. These individuals, and they're still alive today, happen to get pulled over 3-4 minutes away. They let them go.
Because the description you gave was so different.
Nevertheless, we could continue to play ball.
So what you're saying, P gave misleading statements to them? Definitely
on the murder case.
Interesting.
This is some bull. How do they know them cats got pulled over not too far away? And why would this man speak openly on a murder case dealing with QCP? And I don't care, regardless, you want him to look good or whatever. You telling me that, not even me, you telling the world and anybody who can watch on the video that QCP lied dealing with a murder case, knowing that there's no statute of limitations when it comes to murder. But see, people don't be catching these type of things. They want to talk about people snitching. But then you openly come on the camera and then you snitch. You say that's your boy, but then you openly come on the camera and say this man lied about the murder case that he dealt with and that QCP had committed a murder. I don't know if y'all just, man, y'all can run that back if y'all want to. Look,
Nevertheless, we can continue to play ball.
So what you're saying, P gave misleading statements to them?
Definitely on the murder case.
Interesting.
let's move on. Let's go on how you feel about this P situation.
When I ran his name.
So a lot of people feel like, what makes you qualified to be exposing these?
What makes anybody qualified?
Fair use.
For sure. For sure.
Fair use.
Like I didn't know. Like, what do we got to go through a fucking application and get the street approval? Like, who the fuck, who decides that? The motherfucker that knows how to Google this shit and get the paperwork is the one that's qualified to speak on it.
Hey, yo, 1090. So what happened with that you ratted on? What was the end result of that?
I ain't rat on nobody.
Come on, bro. What
Fuck
talking
you
about for real? Nah, for real. Like, let's talk about.
Nah, for real. What are you talking about?
That's whack.
The ratting, bro.
What ratting?
So now you gonna act like you don't know?
Nah, I'm just saying you acting like you know. You acting like you know because you
don't know what's going on.
Instagram, I told you to make a call because they made a
blood
call.
Out your mouth. Let's talk about your rat.
Exist.
I want to talk about your rat. I want to talk about.
So what?
Because I see you as a motherfucking modern day Klansman that's trying to tear down black people. Our business ain't your business. But let's talk about it. Let's show. Look, shut the fuck up. Shut the.
Right there. Right there. This is what I'm good at. He's saying that 1090 Jake need to stay out of our business. Black folk business. He's saying 1090 Jake's a rat. He don't like 1090 Jake vibe already because of QCP. And just like 1090 Jake say, and that even goes for 1090 Jake, anybody can Google that shit. And the fact that you Google that shit don't make you qualified for anything. Even that goes for 1090 Jake. So when we hear this motherfucker talk, we know he balking. But he ain't really saying shit unless he can articulate that shit well. You need someone who can read paperwork and properly break it down to you. We ain't at an office building dealing with the HR or some shit, right? We dealing with some basic ass motherfucker who's jumping on YouTube and he's doing this thing. But guess what? He's fucking up people's name on purpose for money. So yeah, let's get on to this next one. Now we're gonna get straight on to 1090 Jake. We're gonna see what he's talking about, right? We're gonna be fair. At the same time, I already feel like he's full of shit. And the thing is, I'm gonna be fair enough to listen to everything that he reads out, and we're gonna break it down. We're gonna listen to his wordplay, and yeah, this is what I'm good at. Because you're gonna rock on my dog, right? You know, the doctor had to come in, right? And we gonna have to dissect this shit. I'm telling you, I'm really about this shit. I could break down bullshit any day, bro. I swear this shit in my fucking blood. On God. On God. Play this shit.
I ain't even gonna lie. I'm disappointed I found this. One of the last rappers anyone would have thought would get exposed is now under investigation over snitching accusations.
Woo! Right there. Right there. I already know just from the beginning of this that he's full of shit. He already convicted him with that. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I'm disappointed. I found this. He said, I ain't gonna lie. I'm disappointed. I found this. Sad or displeased. Man, y'all can read it for yourselves, bro. Y'all can read it for yourself. There we go. To uncover, reveal, to manifest, to exhibit, to disclose, to present with. What you bringing to us, though? That's the thing. What you bringing to us?
Louisiana legend BG, who was just released from federal prison less than 3 months ago, is now being accused of the unthinkable. Serving 11 of his 14-year sentence, BG has been a staple for gangster rappers holding it down and taking their time to the chin. Interviews with former inmates would describe the rapper walking tall in general population on some of the deadliest federal prison yards. So why all of a sudden is he now being exposed? To fully understand, we'll have to go all the way back to July 16th, 2009.
This guy. All right, y'all, let's get to it. He said he's disappointed. First of all, let's put on the title. This is 1090 whatever. He's the one who's digging in on BG. All right. Now we ain't getting why he's doing it. We ain't going into this and that. Check this out, right? Because for real, we know that since whatever 2009, right? He's speaking on 2009. He had over about a good close to 15 years in to put these papers. So he's saying this is why. Y'all heard him. He's saying the reason he's being exposed right now is because what he did in 2009. So because of what he did in 2009, you telling me that you're going to expose him 14 3/4 in later. You know what I'm saying? Or and a half later. Either one. Bear with me. You say you're going to expose him. Okay, we still waiting for you to expose or something, right? Because you already said you're disappointed. And the question is, who the fuck is you to be worried about being disappointed of? And you ain't Aborigines, you know what I'm saying? And it don't make you less of a person, but you're not the same race as this man. He more worried about his peers, his mother, his brothers, over you or me or someone that's considered a fan. But you're not a fan. You're not a fan. You was already looking for something. It's the same thing as a man looking in a woman's purse. and then he gets her phone. He expects something. And you said this is because 2009. That tells me that you a fuckboy. Fair use.
The Central City neighborhood of New Orleans. Noticed the occupants of the truck were moving erratically inside. Asking them to step out of the vehicle, the driver would be identified as Christopher Dorsey and more commonly known as BG. The front passenger would be identified as Darian Blunt and the back passenger as Kentrell Washington. As Kentrell stepped out of the back of the truck, a detective could observe in plain view a plastic bag appearing to contain marijuana. The bag was partially covered by a t-shirt on the back passenger seat. Washington would be detained as the detective retrieved a large Ziploc bag containing 446 grams of marijuana. Stepping away from the truck, the detective then observed a black barrel protruding from underneath the driver's seat. Immediately upon seeing the officer retrieve the 9mm Beretta 92 FS, Kentrell Washington would state, "That gun and weed is mine." Washington, who's a convicted felon, was then arrested and taken to the 6th District Police Station for booking. He'd again inform NOPD officers, as well as a federal ATF agent named Special Agent Dorick, that the handgun was his and that he had in fact obtained the gun from his girlfriend Trina Jones.
All right, I heard enough. You disappointed in BG, but Kentrell said the gun was his. They found the weed. They found the gun. You know, and he blamed the gun on his baby mother. You know what I mean? Ain't no honor and no respect in no motherfucker like that. Okay, he took the charge for everything. BG and them pretty much is cleared for that. Because with him making a statement at the scene and at the police station. You know what I mean? That alone is enough to convict him for those charges and to clear BG and the homie that was up front with in the on the front seat. So yeah, I ain't seen nothing wrong with that.
November 3rd, 2009. Only 3 months after Washington would be arrested, BG would find himself in the back seat of a Chevy Tahoe that was pulled over. Gerard Fedison, also known as Fetty, was driving with Damon Pollard in the front passenger. Officers observed the butt of a gun under the center console of the Tahoe before asking if there was any firearms in the vehicle. All 3 men said no. Removing the men, officers recovered a 9mm Ruger P89, a Stoger 40 cal, and an FN57. All 3 guns were equipped with extended magazines. Further investigation would reveal the Chevy Tahoe they were riding in was stolen, and one of the firearms was also reported stolen. A New Orleans PD sergeant would arrive on scene when Pollard said, "The weapons are for us because they tried to jack my boy out of his jewelry," referring to BG. Pollard also stated the drugs in the car were his, as officers recovered pills inside of a Tylenol bottle. Officers spoke with Fetty, who stated he got the car earlier that day from a guy he knew as Charles. All 3 men would be placed under arrest.
Right there, okay. The car was stolen. They all had burners. And they talk about BG ain't about that life. Stolen car, everybody got a burner. Come on, man. Wow, my G.
ATF agents would review phone calls made by Fetty in jail. The day after they were arrested, Fetty called his grandmother, who placed him on a 3-way with his girlfriend. On the recorded jail call that issues a warning saying the call is recorded, Fetty would tell her he, BG, and Polar were at a daiquiri shop when they saw the police. Fetty said he forgot about the guns when he jumped in the truck, and when police got behind him, he closed the stash spot. Fetty said, "I keep a gun. I would rather be living than dead." He'd say he needs to talk to BG because the police report said BG threw a gun down, and he said BG's stupid for having a gun on him. The next day, Fetty would call his girlfriend telling her where he stashes guns in the truck and that Polar doesn't have any convictions. His girlfriend would tell him Polar could write a letter from jail saying the guns were his and that she could get the letter notarized. Fetty would then say he was going to get Polar to sign an affidavit. He'd then say, "You know ain't no fucking gun was for that dude," meaning that the guns actually belonged to BG and Fetty. He'd continue on saying plenty of things he shouldn't over a jail phone before speaking with BG.
Fair use, fair use, fair use. Now,
As the two expressed concern.
you know, you already got the dude on there dry snitching. You already heard him. See, 1090 Jake is already on here saying that BG co-defendant is dry snitching on the phone. And then he already stated that this is a whole different case from the case that BG had dealing with Kentrell. BG was cool on the first case. Kentrell took the charge. Kentrell spoke at the scene of them getting stopped. Kentrell wrote a statement at the police station. Kentrell cooperated. BG and the homie that was in the front seat, they was cleared. BG got caught up again. This time, him and his homie, all of them got caught with guns. All of them was in the car that was stolen. All of them was on what they was on. All of them now catching a charge. 3 guns, 3 men, 3 charges. Correct? Y'all heard them say they want to throw it on the other guy because he got no charges. Automatically, BG was looking at 5 years. And then BG had whatever he had on the shelf. Now, I don't know if y'all ever see the one with Wack 100 saying BG had way more time than 14 years. Just imagine a man already about to deal with 5 years already just from being a felon. You telling me that 14 years wasn't the max? That 14 years was the max. He got the lesser end on the 2 years just being just by doing good. You know what I'm saying? We already know you do good, you do well. You know, it helps benefit you and it helps get you out of jail. You know, shit like that. And at the same time, y'all see that when he you know, they released him, he still has to serve time because he has another year he has to do in a halfway house. And while in the halfway house, he has to do community service. And the community service is BG doing all these commercials and doing all these fundraisers for the children and for different organizations that he's going around touching base with. So if that's why y'all see BG everywhere, and they come with the dogs, you know, and show off the dogs, and you know, and show off, just his, appearance.
Case. 2 days later, Fetty would call BG, who made bond and was released from the New Orleans Parish Prison. On November 9th, Fetty told BG to get Pollard out of jail so Pollard can sign the affidavit stating the guns were his. They believed if Pollard took responsibility for the guns, then the charges against them would be dismissed, and because Pollard had no prior convictions, the punishment would be less severe. Fetty would reassure BG, telling him he always gets affidavits signed, and as soon as it's signed, he'll be out of jail. Fetty would tell BG to put money on Pollard's bond and make Pollard hustle for the rest. November 24th, 2009. Pollard would sign the false affidavit stating Fetty and BG had no knowledge of the guns or drugs recovered from the vehicle. But witnesses would testify that BG brought him to the location and was with him when he signed the document. Furthermore, a cooperating witness would testify that BG provided money to Fetty while he was in jail and assisted in getting Pollard out of jail so Pollard could sign the fake affidavit. It would also seem Washington, BG, and Blunt all planned on Washington being the fall guy. If we pay attention, when the officer recovered the gun, Washington immediately said the gun and weed were his while at the scene. Washington would be taken to the police station where he spoke with an ATF agent, saying his girlfriend brought the gun from Houston. BG and Blunt weren't with him when he spoke with the ATF, but BG and Blunt would repeat exactly what he said to the grand jury. With Washington realizing he was played and is facing more time than promised, he'd attempt to get new lawyers and claim the gun couldn't have been his because the barrel was showing under the front seat.
So he said all of a sudden Kentrell want to say that the gun and shit ain't his because he said that he was going to get more time. I'm going to tell y'all something. Possession of a gun charge automatically is a Fed case. He's going to touch 5 years automatically. He's going to touch 5 automatically. Let's get into it. And it's like, check this out, look. Where's the paperwork in the statement?
BG. But because BG and Blunt already testified against Washington, Washington found himself in a hole he couldn't dig himself out of.
Huh?
Now this case is crazy.
Huh? This dude. Fair use. You up here saying that BG got this dude caught up in this situation. But then turn around and already done said that this dude done took the charge. He done said it at the scene and at the police station. This is the third time I had to say that shit. What, come on, man. Come on. This is where the case get crazy at. This is manipulation. Look at it. Man, this is where it get crazy. You know, they testified on him. He told them, we got to go in here and tell them that I did it. I told them at the scene, I wrote it down. Now, they want us to go in here and tell them this and that. Okay, then. But he's saying that shit, right? He ain't showing no paperwork saying that BG was in that courtroom. All at this point, y'all, I want y'all to know that it's all games. It's all games with this, okay? Because check this out. He supposed to present you paperwork. He shows you some paperwork from the beginning. And this is what a magician do. They play a little bit of this shit from this hand, and then they switch over with their hand. Y'all gotta pay attention to this shit. Because they think he real slick. And I'm gonna take you down. I'm gonna take you to somebody who's gonna tell you the real deal. Yeah. Fair use.
Why would BG agree to testify that the gun was Dude's and Dude already said that was his work? The gun and the weed was his. So what BG testifying for?
Fair use.
Looking at that paperwork, because I said in the last video I did, until I see some paperwork that states to me that BG read it, got on the stand and said that that's his gun, that's his weed, I wasn't going for it. That paperwork saying that he agreed to testify and say that, but he never got on the stand and testified.
Fair use.
He never got on the stand and testified. He absolutely, unequivocally did not go through with it. Because Dude ain't go to trial. He carved out. I'm going to say this here.
Fair use.
I want y'all to understand that Mr. Washington, on 2 separate occasions, said that the weed and the gun was his. He said it on the scene when they pulled them over. When he seen the officer coming from the car, from the truck, with the gun in his hand, that's my gun and that's my weed. When they got to 6th District Police Station, Dude said again to the special agent, that's my gun, that's my weed. So I'm trying to figure out when or why did the opportunity come or present itself for BG to testify?
Enough said, man. Like, let's fucking move on. Let's move on to this guy. Let's move on to this guy. He got a lot to say. He's real slick.
Because it's 2 examples, right? In the first example, Dude just immediately says it's mine. The gun's mine, the weed's mine. In the second case, the guy wouldn't admit that it was his, but BG and BG's homie would come up with an idea. Look, we're going to bond him out and we're going to give him money to sign off and say that the shit was his because he doesn't have any priors. He's going to be the fall guy. And the guy actually does it. He signs the affidavit, but the police listened to the jail calls. They figured out the plot and they hit BG with witness tampering. In the first case, that isn't how it went. In the first case, this guy admits, hey, this is mine. And within a month, BG and the other passenger was subpoenaed to a grand jury, testified in court, said everything was Washington's. Now, they repeated everything Washington said, which makes me think they most likely discussed this, whether it was in the car, whatever it was. Yo, bro, you're not from New Orleans. You're from Houston. You're only going to get 1 to 2 years. You'll be good. Just take the rap for this shit. We're going to take care of you, da-da-da. Dude's like, all right, bet. So he takes the charge. He's got BG's lawyer. Who do you think put that together? Most likely BG.
They put it together. These people ain't putting nothing together, man. The thing is, Kentrell took the charge. He's going to come back in, double in. He's going to double back and want to talk about BG and the other homie plotted against Kentrell when he himself said Kentrell said all of this when BG and the other dude wasn't around, okay? If BG and the other dude wasn't around and Kentrell had stated all of this to the police twice, before and after, why wouldn't it be Kentrell's idea? You see the face that he's making? He's trying to steer y'all off track. He's trying to run y'all all over the place. This is what he do. This dude is wild. And the thing is, he like to try to play detective. You know? He wants to play detective. But he ain't presenting you anything lucrative. And if y'all hear him, he already stated that it was two cases. Why would he mix the two together? Why? Because those two at the end combined it against BG, but he wanted to make you think that this is all based on one trial. Kentrell was going to touch 5 anyway because he's a felon. And now we know that BG had 5 from another case. But BG couldn't touch 5 from the other case because Kentrell took the charge. Which leaves BG to be dealing with the time that he had on the shelf. And that's why he had the 5 from the felony. And then he had time on his shelf. And then BG, another case that he was dealing with where he tried to pay somebody to take the charge. So, they was running up on BG hard. And BG just was dealing with hard times back to back. And that's how all that shit accumulated for BG. With him going to jail and him having felonies or whatever, whatever himself, why would he sit there and come on, this channel and cause any kind of confusion? This motherfucker's full of shit. He deserves it, man. He deserves it. It's a fucking clown, man. And the type of shit that he on, man, the type of stuff that these type of people do, it's sad because he try to interrupt somebody's career. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, time will tell. Time will tell. But let's get to it.
He gets BG's. Yo, bro, you're not from New Orleans, you from Houston. You're only gonna get 1 to 2 years. You'll be good. Just take the rap for this shit. We're gonna take.
Y'all hear that shit? This is what he's making up in his head that BG told somebody else who's in the street that just because you out here from somewhere else that you're going to get lesser charges. Bro, I fucking know. It's so sad that you told this sad ass story. Man, whoever believed this shit deserved the worst. Whoever believed this shit deserves the worst. And for you to just talk about 2 different cases, one of the cases don't even matter because Kentrell took the charge. And they already and Skip already stated that they didn't even have to take the stand. and they weren't about to deal with that shit because it showed that they refused to. It showed that they refused to. It showed that they refused to. But this motherfucker want to talk about, yeah, they probably said this, they probably said that. Where the paperwork? He has no paperwork saying BG said anything. He has no paperwork that BG was involved in none of that shit. And the thing is, why is you speaking on this shit in the middle of BG still in a halfway house and dealing with his case still to today? He's still in a halfway house. It ain't over. It ain't over yet.
Take care of you, da. Dude's like, all right, bet.
Look at him.
So he takes the charge. He's got BG's lawyer. Who do you think put that together? Most likely BG.
Fuck boy. Fuck boy. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Now listen to this voice.
Say shit that me and him been talking. So these the questions I asked him. If you agreed to take the charge for BG, as long as he handled everything you asked him to, how did he snitch when he told the courts everything you already told the police and an ATF agent? That's the first question. The second.
Check this out. Now he passionate and shit like he trying to be fair, trying to see what's really up. But see, he just read on his own the paperwork. He just read on his own the paperwork about, you know what I mean, about him. And he stated that he's disappointed. He stated he disappointed. You know, he got the paperwork. And he pretty much convicted this man. He read all this shit and then he said, man, look, it's two sides. And y'all seen, he just said it's two sides. It's, come on, bro. But then he go to TT Naughty, you know, the BG flipper, flip on BG, Mr. Flip on BG. Mr. He ain't give me a chain. But anyway, allegedly, for entertainment purposes.
The question I asked him, how did BG and Darian Blunt know to say the exact same things you told the ATF agent if all of you didn't already agree upon it? Because this is the thing, in the arrest report, when they was on the scene, he said the gun was his. When he went and spoke with the ATF agent inside of the police station, that's when he gave the details. Trina Jones brought it from Houston to New Orleans. This was mine. They didn't know. So how the fuck did they know to say that? Because they wasn't in the room with you with that ATF agent.
Facts.
My next question. In your repeal transcripts, it states at one point you brought up BG's other gun case, pointing out he had a fall man. And the gun in your case couldn't have been yours because of how it was positioned under the driver's seat with the barrel facing you in the back seat, meaning it must have been the driver's who was BG.
All right. Now, he's saying Kentrell snitched on BG. Two times about his case with Kentrell and his case dealing with the other situation with the three homies in a stolen truck. He got word that was BG gun, and he went on and tried to snitch on that as well so he can get out of the situation. So now, here we is. We have a snitch trying to say BG snitched. We have a snitch that snitched on BG that's trying to say BG snitched on him. We have a snitch that tried to snitch on BG and say BG snitched on him. Bruh. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
What was your intention with that statement? Now, he claims he didn't make that statement. I got the appeal transcripts because it also says, check the fingerprints. My fingerprints ain't on that gun. And he told me on the phone, yeah, I said that part, but I ain't said the other part. All of it is in the transcripts. I told him, you said you reached out to BG multiple times before exposing the paperwork. Had he have gotten in contact with you, what would have been different? And my last question, if you received 1 to 2 years, would you have been fine with BG and Darian testifying? See, this is the thing. The reason I jumped on this, I think it was Wack or Paris Gangster Williams that put out the paperwork
now look,
first,
look,
right?
look.
I'm gonna tell you why he jumped on this. He said they put that shit out, right? And we gonna get to that, but this dude don't really want that smoke, bruh. This dude, TT Naughty, been going off on the internet talking about getting on people's head, lying on BG, and talking about putting the hurting on them and doing all this and that. Motherfuckers was talking about standing on shit, standing on it, backing down BG, making sure BG good, and they don't give a fuck. Whoever, they gonna stand on it. Now this dude wanna hurry up and rush out and fake wanna play this game. He jumping on this shit, kissing ass to TTE Naughty. And people need to catch on to this shit. People need to catch on to this shit because we seen the energy that he had when he was in his own video, right? But watch this shit.
Blood, I ain't gonna lie to you. So people won't think I'm fraud. This is what I said about you. Nigga, I feel like you a hoe. I want to just be real. This is what I said. So it won't be like I'm a hoe.
I didn't know you were talking shit.
Exactly. I want to say, this is what I want to say, like, bro, I ain't got nothing a problem with you doing, but like, nigga, it's a lot of white boys that's told though, fam.
If you watch my 17-minute and 8-second video on BG, a lot of people did it.
I watched
but
it.
never once did I say he a rat, and never
That's
once
what
did I
that's
say
what a
he
lot
a
of people
snitch.
said in the chat.
But
Like,
when the blogs posted it,
yeah,
the blog says 1090 Jake exposes BG as a rat.
Because he is trying to make
look, BSV, like I come from, I'm new to this. I didn't know I had this type of talent. You
now he want to talk about
I know,
listen,
and I know this one. Hold on, I'm gonna let you talk. But I'm like, hold on, is blood real righteous? Blood name where it's a whole lot of rats. All these niggas.
Somebody was finna take the fall. That dude, Kentrell Washington was finna take the fall. You know who put that out there? Me. And the motherfucker carved it into what he, right? If you look at a Greek statue, one of them sculptures, right? That shit was originally a rock, and the motherfucker carved it in what a fall, man. I'm gonna say, look at what the fucking paper says, with no other explanation. And that's what everybody else tried to do. Yeah. See, this is the thing with YouTube, right?
Fuck all that. Didn't he say he was disappointed? Now he's switching it up for TT Naughty. Now he throwing it on Wack 100. He said they took that and steered that shit. Man, bruh. That's enough.